The rain came down in sheets, soaking through everything it touched. The sound of it against the tin roof of the small mechanic shop was deafening. Aiden wiped his hands on a rag that had long lost its color and sighed. Another long day. Another evening alone in the dimly lit garage his late father had left behind. He was only 24, but his face carried lines of responsibility far beyond his age. Ever since his father's passing, Aiden had taken over the tiny auto repair shop on the edge of town, struggling to keep the business alive. The bills were piling up, the tools were rusting, and the old sign outside barely hung on its hinges. As the storm grew heavier, he was about to close for the night when headlights cut through the rain. A sleek black Mercedes rolled to a stop near the garage. It was so out of place among the broken-down cars and puddles that Aiden froze for a moment. The driver's door opened, and a woman stepped out, holding her coat over her head. Even in the downpour, she looked elegant, her heels splashing in the water, her hair damp but perfectly styled, her eyes sharp yet desperate. "Excuse me," she called out over the rain. "My car just stopped. The engine died about a mile back. You're the only place I found with lights on." Aiden blinked, momentarily struck by how out of place she looked here. "I can take a look," he said, grabbing his toolbox. "But it's pouring. You should wait inside." "I'll manage," she replied firmly. "Just please, I need this car fixed tonight." He nodded, pulling the hood of his jacket tighter. "All right, let's see what we can do." The rain soaked through his clothes as he opened the car's hood. The engine was a maze of modern parts, nothing like the older cars he usually worked on. The woman stood by, shivering slightly, clutching her coat around her. "Fancy car," Aiden muttered, half to himself. She glanced at him. "Company vehicle." He didn't ask what company, though her demeanor and the luxury car gave it away. She wasn't just another customer. She was someone from another world entirely. After half an hour checking, tightening, and tinkering in the downpour, he finally sighed. The alternator's shot. "You're lucky it made it this far," he said. "I can fix it, but I'll need a few hours. Maybe till morning." The woman hesitated, glancing at her phone. "I can't wait till morning," she said. "I have an important meeting in the city at 8 a.m. Aiden thought for a moment. "If I stay up tonight, I can fix it. But the part one need is in storage, across town." She frowned. "You'll go now? In this weather?" He smiled faintly. "If it means you'll get to your meeting, yeah." An hour later, drenched and muddy, Aiden returned with the part. The rain hadn't stopped, but he got to work immediately. His hands were numb, his breath visible in the cold air, but he didn't stop. The woman watched him silently from the doorway of the garage. Something about his determination stirred a feeling she hadn't felt in years. She was used to people doing things for her, but not because they cared. Finally, near midnight, Aiden tightened the last bolt and wiped his forehead. "Try it now," he said, stepping back. The engine roared to life. The woman's face lit up with relief. "You did it," she said, smiling for first time that night. "Told you I would," Aiden replied, grinning back despite his soaked clothes. "How much do I owe you?" she asked, reaching for her wallet. Aiden hesitated. He looked at her expensive outfit, the car, the diamond watch. Then he shook his head. "Just enough to cover the part. Let's call it 50. Her brow furrowed. "That's ridiculous. You work for hours in the rain." He shrugged. "I don't overcharge people who say please. Besides, my dad used to say, help first, charge later." The woman's smile softened. "Your father raised you well." Aiden looked away, his voice quiet. He tried. As she handed him the money, their fingers brushed. For a moment, something unspoken passed between them. Gratitude, maybe, or something deeper neither could name. "Thank you," she said sincerely. I mean it. Aiden nodded. Drive safe. Roads are slippery. She hesitated again. I didn't catch your name. Aiden. I'm Claire, she said. Claire Hamilton. His eyes widened slightly. The name was familiar. Hamilton Industries. One of the biggest corporations in the city. She wasn't just a company executive. She was the CEO. Before he could say anything, she added softly, "You really saved me tonight." The next morning, Aiden thought he'd imagined it all. The storm had cleared and sunlight streamed through the clouds. He got back to work, patching tires and tuning engines like always. But around noon, a sleek car stopped outside. The same Mercedes. And Claire stepped out again, this time with a smile. "I hope I'm not interrupting," she said. "I just came to return something." She handed him a small envelope. He opened it and froze. Inside was a check, $10,000. "I can't take this," he said quickly. "That's way too much." "It's not payment," Claire said. "It's an investment." I read the sign outside. Reed and Son Auto Repair. Your father built this place. You shouldn't have to watch it fall apart. Aiden's throat tightened. "I can't accept charity." "This isn't charity," she said gently. "It's gratitude. And maybe a business proposal." He looked at her, confused. "Business proposal?" Claire smiled. "Hamilton Industries is opening a new automotive division. We need someone honest, hardworking, and skilled with their hands. Someone like you." Aiden blinked, stunned. "You're offering me a job?" "I'm offering you a future," she said simply. Weeks turned into months. Aiden joined Hamilton Industries as a lead mechanic in their new community program, fixing and restoring old vehicles for underprivileged families. His small shop, instead of closing down, became the pilot location for Claire's project. And somewhere along the way, their bond deepened, built not on wealth or status, but on mutual respect. She admired his integrity. He admired her heart behind the power. On a quiet evening months later, the rain began to fall again. Claire stood in the same garage, watching Aiden work on an engine. He looked up and smiled. "Deja vu, huh?" he said, wiping his hands. She smiled back. "Only this time, I'm not stranded." "No," he said softly, stepping closer. "This time, we both found where we belong." Outside, the rain fell gently, no longer cold, but cleansing, as if the storm that had brought them together was finally at peace. And from that night on, neither of their lives was ever the same again.